Alfred, the forest just went quiet. Something's here.
You have visual confirmation.
Batman's contingency plan.
Gotham never stays quiet. When it does, it's because something has already started. 3 weeks without homicides, no bank robberies, no Joker, no Riddler, none of the usual spectacles. Alfred brought me a clipping from the Gazette teenage girl missing from a summer camp near Blair County, on the New Jersey border. Young face, smile frozen in a Polaroid. The 8th victim in 17 years. Geographic pattern, always the same lake, always from June to August, always around the new moon. Local cops filed it as drownings. Bodies never found. Witnesses talk of someone on the shore, figure in a mask, movement in the water. Reports dismissed as hysteria. But there's too much consistency. Consistency is data. Data is the entry point. I arrived discreetly, no armor, no cape. I went as Bruce Wayne, scouting the land for a charity project. Abandoned gas station 3 miles from the lake. Broken windows, rusted pump, stench of mildew and rotting wood. Back door forced open. Stains on the concrete rust? No. Preliminary analysis. Degraded hemoglobin, about 6 months old. Drag marks consistent with a 60-kilo body. Ends at the tree line, heading northeast. Toward the lake. Camp closed for 15 years. Fence down, bungalows crumbling. Wrong kind of silence. No birds, no insects. Heavy air, noticeable static electricity. At the center, the boathouse. Rotting wooden structure on pilings, half submerged. Loose planks. Inside, an improvised altar, not religious, personal. Faded photo of a woman holding a child, burned out candle, dead flowers, around it, totems, necklaces left by visitors, handwritten notes. Please don't hurt me. Sorry. I remember you. Fear as an offering. I scraped a wood sample, anomalous organic composition, unknown biofilm, lake water alkaline pH, traces of manganese, but something else. Irregular electromagnetic resonance, peak at 18 hertzes. Infrasound, frequency that induces panic. Natural? Unlikely at that intensity. Back in the Batcave, I cross-referenced the data. 17 cycles, always, after a territory violation, teens breaking in, underground party, nosy visitors, always followed by a disappearance. Surviving witnesses describe a persistent figure. White hockey mask, axe or long blade. Impossible underwater movement. Resists, wounds, doesn't speak, doesn't negotiate, just executes. Paranormal hypothesis dismissed by protocol, but the data forced a review. Jason Voorhees, name tied to the lake since 1957. Child with cranial deformity, neglected, drowned while counselors fucked. Body never recovered. The mother, Pamela Voorhees, carried out a massacre in 1958 ritual revenge, killed by decapitation. The son reappeared years later. The cycle repeats. Not a ghost, not a zombie in the classic sense. It's a bond. Territory is a closed circuit. Memory is fuel. Fear is reinforcement. Jason is the executor of a ritual without a ritualist. He is the ritual. The logic is simple. Fixed stage lake divided by boathouse. Emotional trigger. Maternal memory divided by territorial intrusion. Collective amplifier. Perpetuated local trauma. Each death feeds the legend. Each legend draws new intruders. Each intrusion reactivates the cycle. No need for candles or grimoires. Just repetition. Territory. Remembrance. Physical containment fails because the anchor remains. Chains snap, cells rot. He returns, always returns. So the protocol has 2 acts. First, break the supernatural anchor. Second, contain the body. In that order, never the reverse. I mounted the operation in 48 hours. Electromagnetic field mesh around the boathouse Faraday cage, disguised as an environmental repair structure. 12 underwater emitters, frequencies between 12 and 22 hertzes. Counterpoint infrasound, destructive interference in the lake's natural field. Inaudible, but enough to detune the call. Reflection removal. Spectral LED floodlights, positioned to kill shadows in the water. No reflection, no symbolic mirror. Metal surfaces covered with absorbent material. Directed silence, low, amplitude white noise generators, masking organic sounds that reinforce presence, breathing, movement, heartbeat, totem neutralization, remove necklaces, notes, flowers, no dramatic destruction, just removal, symbols lose power without an audience. The mother's photo was trickier. I digitized it, removed the original, replaced it with a degraded replica. Didn't erase the memory, just weakened the bond. Final component, acoustic inversion. Synthesized modulation based on the original 18 Hz and projected a mirrored frequency, not magic, psychoacoustics. Cancellation waves, engineering against enchantment. Trap set, I entered as Bruce. No cape, no mask, deliberate bait. He came at dusk. Emerged from the water without a sound, broad shoulders, cracked mask, machete rusted long as my forearm. Slow, inevitable movement. I struck first, punch to the solar plexus, forced to shatter ribs. He didn't even budge. Counterattack, lateral swing, blade slicing air, dodged by inches. Smell of muck and decay. Second hit, knee to the patella. Human femur can't take 300 kilos of pressure. He stumbled, didn't fall. Third, elbow to the base of the skull. Lethal technique. He turned his head, slow, like he was sizing me up. Then he clocked me. Impact to the sternum. I flew 3 meters, slammed into a tree. Cracked rib, partially collapsed lung. Blurred vision. He advanced. No rush. Execution. Not a fight. I rolled, triggered the flare. Tactical evac. I survived because he doesn't pursue beyond the territory. Not yet. Returned 72 hours later. As Batman, data confirmed. Containment without breaking the anchor is useless. Tested expanding polymer foam, the same that immobilizes Bane. Jason tore through it in 90 seconds, snapping the polymers like wet paper. The anchor was still active. The territory still called. So I activated the full protocol. Emitters at max. Faraday field operational. Totems removed. Reflections dead. I waited in the boathouse. Reinforced armor. Non-lethal arsenal prepped. This time, with the anchor weakened. He emerged again. Slower. Uncertain movement. Hesitation, the first ever recorded. The mesh was working. He was still solid. Still dangerous. But the bond was vibrating wrong. Off-key. Attacked with surgical precision. Directed explosives on the boathouse pilings. Calculated collapse. The structure crumbled onto him. Wood and metal. Used the chaos. Graphene harpoons. Tungsten cables. Anchors fixed to submerged rock. Not to kill him. To immobilize him long enough. He fought. Monstrous strength. Even weakened. Snapped 2 cables. But this time, I wasn't unarmed Bruce Wayne. I was Batman. Full armor. Tactical arsenal. And Jason doesn't fight like the others. His first strike. Impossible speed. Machete in a downward arc. Blocked with armored forearm impact, rang like an anvil. Counter. Hydraulic punch to the sternum. He staggered back. 1 step. Switched tactics. Lateral movement. 3 Muay Thai kicks to the knee. He stumbled. Fired steel cable around his neck. Electric winch pull. He yanked back, dragging me across the wood before I released. Tungsten net. Tore through it in seconds. Electro spurs 50,000 volts. Convulsed, but didn't stop. Blade whistled past my jugular, by inches. But the emitters held the interference. The supernatural link, what makes him invincible, fuels his monstrous strength. His impossible resilience was corrupting. Territory failing. Memory distorted. The anchor sustaining him bleeding out. He faltered. Critical moment. Activated silver. Veil. 4-meter containment sphere, triple wall. Inner layer of total sensory deprivation. No light. No sound. No vibration. Middle cryogenic cooling layer. Outer absolute Faraday shell. Submersible. Hermetic. Designed to completely isolate the occupant from any external stimulus. With the anchor broken, containment became effective. He went in. I sealed it. Sank the sphere to the lake's deepest point, 120 meters. Anaerobic muck. Total darkness. Not dead. Contained. Isolated. 3 days later, I extracted the sphere. Transported to a remote facility. Geological underwater pit in the North Atlantic. 3,000 meters deep. Constant temperature. 2 degrees Celsius. Extreme salinity. Triple Faraday cages. Total absence of reflections, no light, no sound, no echo. Safety redundancies. If the sphere fails, it sinks to the abyssal zone. If he escapes, Controlled detonation of the original site, boathouse, camp, territorial landmarks. No stage, no return. I cataloged the rules. Territorial anchor. Jason needs the lake. Without it, he weakens. Memorial trigger. The mother's memory activates him. Breaking totems dilutes the intensity. Collective reinforcement. Fear feeds the cycle. Silence breaks the narrative. Physical limitation. Even weakened, superhuman resilience. Containment requires total sensory deprivation. Persistence. Doesn't die, just hibernates. I didn't kill him. I won't cross that line, not even for this. But I didn't free him. I can't. Future lives depend on it. He's contained. Monitored. Isolated from everything that makes him tick. Not a prison. Ontological quarantine. Gotham went back to its usual noise. Alfred didn't ask about Blair County, just changed the dressing on my ribs and poured tea. The lake stays empty. No legend, no totems, no fear. For now. Some believe monsters can't be stopped, that the supernatural is beyond reason, that ancient forces always win. They're wrong. Doesn't matter if it's magic, ritual, or immortal cycle. Everything runs on rules. Everything has structure. Everything can be understood, dismantled, contained. I've dedicated my life to it, not just Gotham's criminals, but anything that threatens the innocent, human or not, alive or not. If it can kill, I can stop it. I'm not just a detective, not just a vigilante. I'm the preparation the impossible didn't see coming, the contingency for what shouldn't exist, the line between chaos and order, the line I never cross, but defend with everything I've got. Other heroes trust power. I trust method. Jason Voorhees was inevitable, until he wasn't. Because I'm the Batman, and the Batman always has a plan.
He's not even making a sound up there.
I don't care what he is. If he can help us, let him.
Silence. This deep always has a price. Here, it's paid while they sleep. Most crimes break doors. This one breaks principles. Broken lock, no forced entry. She died in her sleep, with a perfect wound and no trace of a blade.
We found no metal, no carbon, no known alloy. It's like the weapon never existed.
When the tool doesn't belong to this world, the crime stops being physical. It becomes ontological.
Same pattern, sir. All asleep. No weapon. No trace. They call it a vengeful spirit in the local reports.
Spirits don't leave patterns. People do. Or something that learned from them.
Some would say this is beyond your field. The supernatural, dreams, demons.
There is no beyond my field. If it kills, it follows rules. I just haven't mapped them yet. Filter all victims by sleep cycle, childhood fears, and exposure to the same story.
All of them heard about him before they died. All of them were terrified of the idea. That's the principle. Not a demon, a construct, a thought given teeth.
He's a parasite of belief. The more they fear him, the more real he becomes.
If his existence depends on fear, then the contingency is simple. Break the belief.
They're not just tired. They're improvising a war they don't even understand.
If you fall asleep, he gets you. Just don't sleep. Ever.
His power doesn't start in their dreams. It starts in the stories they trade to stay awake. Belief is the battery. Fear is the voltage. Drain both. And the monster starves. He kills where no lock, no alarm, no barricade can reach him. Inside their sleep. If his only terrain is the nightmare, then I don't drag him out first. I go in. Protocol Nightmare Zero begins inside his kingdom, not outside of it. Looking into his domain without control means giving him every advantage. I need structure, lucidity, and a way back.
Lucidity lab is ready, sir. Neural safeguards, cardiac monitors, extraction routines, all on standby.
Finds me. He won't be hunting a victim. He'll be stepping into a pre-planned battlefield. Dreams bend reality. Lucid dreams bend it back. I need to know when I'm no longer awake and refuse to forget it.
Lucidity serum will block delta waves and keep your awareness online. You'll know you're dreaming the entire time.
Good. If he tries to rewrite the rules, I'll be there to overwrite them. This isn't sleep. It's an incursion. Phase 1. Controlled entry. I let the nightmare find me, but on my terms.
Induction sequence starting. Lucid markers locked. If your heart rate drops below 40, we trigger extraction.
If he tries to turn this into a hunt, remind him. I set the rules. I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to invade. Heart rate steady. Awareness intact. The body is asleep. The mind is crossing over. In his realm, thoughts turn into architecture. I just have to think sharper than he dreams. This is my entry point. A neutral layer. My rules first, his nightmares on top. Come on then. You like hunting in dreams. Find me. He builds mazes from childhood fears. Classrooms, lockers, empty halls. All loaded with panic.
Class is in session, Detective. You're late.
Every door is bait. He expects panic. Random choices. Instinct.
Pick a door. Any door. They all end the same.
Nightmare architecture. Heat, noise, no exits. He wants me overwhelmed before the real attack.
You've been here before. You just don't remember how loud you screamed.
He multiplies himself. Quantity over quality. Noise over strategy.
How many of me can you bleed tonight, huh?
Fear speeds you up. Discipline slows time down. You're loud. I only need the real you. He tries overload. Too many screams. Too much fire. Fear is a flood. I don't drown in floods. I turn them into numbers. He wants chaos, noise, overload. I answer with structure. This is my mind. Freddy's nightmare runs on belief. I strip it down to logic.
Why isn't this changing? I said melt!
Inside this chamber, he's bound to one rule. Physics. No shortcuts, no omnipotence. Feeling limited? Pain is data. If he feels it here, I can drag that version out of the dream. Good. You can be hurt. That's all I needed to confirm. To pull him out, I need one constant. Physical contact. A fixed point in a shifting dream. You're done hunting here. From now on, you move when I say you move.
Rate at 38, engaging the sonic anchor.
Sound is the bridge. The exact frequency of my waking voice ties the dream back to reality.
What did you do? Why can't I change this?
The anchor forces him to focus on one thing he can't control, waking reality.
This is my world. You don't get to drag me out.
You're not a god. You're a pattern. Patterns can be relocated.
You're not a god. You're just a killer with a borrowed stage. Phase Gamma reality containment. In here, he's not a myth. He's just another criminal inside a box. Phase Gamma, reality containment. Here, he's not an idea. He's a body inside a box. Get used to the weight. That's gravity. That's pain. That's you. Without magic. You need to know, in dreams, he's omnipotent. Here, he's just another killer with bad habits and a fragile frame.
What is this place? Why can't I bend it?
No dreams. No nightmares. No nightmares. No power source. Simple math.
What? What did you pump in here? I can't feel them anymore.
He's contained, for now. But fear doesn't vanish with steel and gas. It lingers out there.
Physical cells slow the damage. They don't erase the myth. For that, I need a different kind of cage.
Sensitization campaigns, manipulated narratives. This is mass influence on a global scale.
It's a vaccine. They weaponized fear. I'm weaponizing ridicule. You can't fear what you're busy laughing at. First wave, saturation. Turn the nightmare into a cartoon, a meme, a joke. The more they laugh, the less room there is for terror. 6 months later, his name doesn't mean fear. It means cheap horror. Old news.
Man, I used to have nightmares about that guy. Now, he's just a Halloween meme.
They can't forget me. They're supposed to be afraid. That's the deal.
When the story collapses, the monster doesn't die. It just loses its audience, and then it fades.
No, they can't just forget me. They're supposed to scream when they hear my name.
The true cell isn't steel. It's irrelevance. Once the story dies, the monster has nowhere left to live. Protocol Nightmare Zero is complete, not by force, by social engineering. You don't always beat monsters by hitting them harder. Sometimes you just bankrupt the myth that feeds them. If he ever finds a way back through another story, the chamber moves with him, straight into a mind he can't bend. Nightmare against nightmare. A higher order guardian can finish what I started. Now get out of here. I have work to do.
Another case, sir. Empty car, missing family, and no tracks leading away from the road. Local authorities wrote it off as a runaway.
People don't just vanish from an open road, not without leaving a pattern. 17 reports. Always the same rural route. Always in clusters. Every 23 years for 23 days.
That's not coincidence, sir. That's ritual.
Predators that follow patterns can be trapped. I'll see what's hunting that road. Fear drew it out there. I'll meet it where it thinks no one is watching.
Not your usual ride, sir. It looks like it barely survived the last century.
Out there, a sleek engine screams, outsider. This has rust, dents, history. Armor on the inside, camouflage on the outside. Exactly what it expects to see before it feeds. Local police came and left. No bodies, no footprints leaving the road. Just silence and an empty car.
Are there any signs of a struggle, sir? Tire marks? Blood? Anything the reports might have missed?
No. No skid marks. No drag marks. Just impact, panic, and then something pulled them out of reality in seconds. These scratches aren't from tools or boots, and this fiber doesn't belong to anything on a human inventory.
I'm already cross-referencing older missing person reports on that highway, sir. The pattern is concerning.
Good. Keep digging. Dates, gaps, anything that repeats. Predators erase witnesses, but they can't erase their own habits. This road has seen it before. Fear is my tool. But the fear I use is the fear of consequence. The fear of law, of justice. What I hunt now does not fear the law. It is the law of its own nature.
Master Bruce, the feeding cycle began 72 hours ago.
Every 23 years, it hunts for 23 days. It is a creature of cycles.
Cycles are predictable, and the predictable is controllable. I call it protocol harvest. The goal is not to kill it. It is to interrupt the cycle. The creeper is not mystical. It is biological. A demonic creature, yes, but with a physiology that obeys rules. It replaces body parts with those of its victims. It is a parasite that perfects itself.
Weakness, Master Bruce?
Weakness is necessity. It needs specific parts. It needs fear to choose. And it needs time to hibernate. Every 23 years, the same reports. Missing travelers, empty cars, no bodies. Different victims, same stretch of road. The feeding grounds change. The nest doesn't. All routes curve back to the same structure. Same building. Same hiding place. It hunts on the road. It sleeps in the same grave. I don't wait for it to choose the next victim. I go straight to where it feels untouchable. It is a hunter. But it is a hunter with habits. It uses the same vehicle, the same hiding place. Predictability is its arrogance. The odor. A mixture of formaldehyde and something resembling sulfur. It is preparing for hibernation. Time is running out. Reaper is almost indestructible. Fire, bullets, explosions. It regenerates. But regeneration has a cost. It needs time and organic material.
Is the experimental blade ready?
Yes, sir. That alloy can disrupt whatever keeps these things coming back.
I don't need much. I just need a catalyst. The tracker on its truck shows me where it feels safe to hunt. Same road, same pattern, same mistake. I don't chase it. I wait exactly where the cycle expects its next meal. I'm not the prey on this road. I'm the invitation. Life, the wings will expect you. I am not the victim. I am the bait. And the bait must be irresistible. It chose me. It sensed the strength. It sensed the intelligence. It wants my brain, my vision, my capacity to plan. You are fast. But predictable. Your tactic is intimidation. Its strength is primal, unrefined. It relies on overwhelming force. My strikes are meant to disable human opponents. Against it, they are mere annoyances. But they serve a purpose, to test its limits. It realized the axe was a liability. Now, it reverts to its natural weapons. It underestimated my armor and my resilience. Now, the real fight begins. It relies on sight and smell. I just took away both. In the chaos, I guided it, step by step, to the designated kill zone. Protocol Beta, tactical immobilization. I lured it into a minefield of low-power explosive gel, not to wound, but to dismember. That alloy neutralizes whatever keeps it growing back. The arm is dead. It can't rejoin the body. The goal is fragmentation. It cannot regenerate if the parts are too far apart. I used its own aggression against it. The more it fought, the more it broke. I did not kill it. I simply ensured that the cost of regeneration was too high to bear. All gamma stasis containment. It needs 23 days to hunt. It needs 23 years to sleep. I'll give it 23,000.
The entity isn't a myth that feeds on stories. It's a predator that follows rules. And predators can be put into deep sleep.
He is in stasis, sir. But what about the cycle? Won't it try to wake again in 23 years?
No. The stasis chamber is programmed to release an electromagnetic pulse every 22 years, 364 days. A pulse that will keep it in deep sleep for another cycle. Protocol Delta. Cycle nullification. I did not kill it. I froze it in time. The creature is contained. It is sleeping. And the rural road is safe. True weakness of a creature of cycles is interruption. I didn't defeat it with force. I defeated it with a calendar. Protocol Creeper Harvest Omega-9 complete. Now get out of here. I've got work to do. This city is a graveyard of mysteries. But this was a mystery without witnesses. Without motive. At least in what God's here. There's no tidiness like this. I showed every one of these loves knife. Just the signature of a force that didn't care about physics. The speed of the attack was supersonic, the force beyond human comprehension. The target was vaporized. This wasn't a crime. This was a purge.
Sir, the reports from the containment organization are clear. Anyone who sees SCP-096's face is condemned. Death is inevitable.
Its weakness is perception. It only attacks if it is seen. Its weakness is the rule. And every rule has an exception. Filter out the visuals. I want heat scans, movement patterns, audio signatures only. I don't need to see it. I just need to know it.
Understood.
Visual data removed. Focusing on non-optical signatures only. The creature is a ghost in the light, but a beacon in the dark.
It's the perfect predator. But even perfection has a blind spot.
When its rage is triggered, SCP-096 stops being a body and turns into pure kinetic heat. A moving scream locked on one victim. SCP-096 doesn't search. It commits. One target, one straight path. Everything between them is just collateral. If sight is the trigger, then sight has to die. No eyes, no windows. Just sensors and armor thick enough to ride the impact.
With this configuration, you never look at SCP-096, sir. You only read it. Heat, sound, movement. Enough to fight it without ever seeing its face.
SCP-096 is a straight line. This gear turns me into the steering wheel. All I need now is the perfect place to crash the monster.
Someone already saw SCP-096 face, sir. It's locked on that victim now. It won't stop until it reaches them. The path is already drawn. Any new observer of that face becomes a target too, sir. First, second, third, SCP-096 will hunt them all.
If I look at its face, I join the list. The suit will read its movement for me: heat, motion tracking, combat vectors, so I never need to see SCP-096 to fight it. SCP-096 is already in full rage, chasing someone I can't save. All I can do now is choose where the monster passes, and be strong enough to stand in its way. I don't need eyes. Eyes make you a target. I need a sealed shell and a system that turns SCP-096 into numbers, not a face.
LiDAR grid is stable. Thermal mapping is clean. Motion tracking is active. The suit reads every step your opponent takes, sir, without ever showing you SCP-096's face.
The readers give me what I need in a fight: heat, vectors, movement. I don't see the monster. I read it. This power was built for things that hit harder than tanks. I just need it for a few seconds to survive SCP-096's first impact and stay upright long enough to drag it into the trap. I won't outrun SCP-096. I'll let it crash into me and use its rage as an engine. The suit will steer it along one straight line, directly into the Phantom Zone gate I chose.
Is everything all right, Frank?
If we place the Phantom Zone gate here, sir, SCP-X096 path will cross this canyon. No civilians. Just rock and empty air.
The suit holds SCP-096 on that line. The Phantom Zone does the rest. One straight vector, and the monster disappears into that prison forever.
The Kryptonian projector is in position, sir. We tuned it to one narrow entry vector. Once SCP-096 crosses this line, the Phantom Zone opens for 3 seconds. The Phantom Zone is not a place in our world. No walls, no doors, no distance to cross back.
Good. SCP-096 doesn't need a cell. It needs a horizon it can never reach.
Once the Phantom Zone gate opens, you'll have seconds at best, sir. If you lose control of the line, SCP-096 will keep running.
Then I don't lose it. The suit reads its movement, I hold the vector, and the Phantom Zone takes the monster away.
SCP-096 is closing in on your intercept point, sir. If any sensor fails out there, even for a second, it will reach its original target.
The risk is calculated. 3 seconds. That's all I need. To hold the vector. To push SCP-096 straight into the Phantom Zone. Wind speed stable. Ground dry. Vector path confirmed. This is the place. The drone confirms the line. SCP-096 is running fast, straight toward me. The drone tracks the rage vector. SCP-096 isn't coming for me. It's coming for the person who saw its face. I'm just standing in the way. Heat signature rising. Vector locked. Movement detected. Staying on the line.
Phantom Zone gate is opening, sir. 3 seconds. Stay on course.
Your rage ends on the other side. It's over. For now.
More like, what the hell are you supposed to be now?